Hello, everyone. So for this video discussion, we'll talk about the different planting systems, and we'll also have some computation on plant density or plant population. But before that, let's first have some background on the principles in deciding the planting system or in deciding the planting distance. So there are two main principles. First, trees when fully grown, the fringes of trees should touch each other, but the branches should not interlock. So, yung mga fringes or yung mga tips ng leaves natin, yes, yung mga tip portion ng trees ay pwede daw na mag-touch, pero hindi pwede na mag-interlock yung mga branches. Hindi pwede na mag-cross yung mga branches ng mga trees natin. And the second principle, trees' roots will spread over a much larger area than the top, and there should be proper room for the roots to feed without competition. So the planting distance should accommodate, or the space should be adequate enough to accommodate for the root system of every tree and to accommodate their nutrient requirement. Now, there are also factors in deciding the planting distance of our trees or crops. First, the kind of fruit trees. Different trees has different planting distance requirements. Sa mangga, ang planting distance ng mango is 10 by 10 meters, while guavas are distanced at 5 by 5 meters, while papayas are planted at a distance of 2 meters. Then another factor, we have rainfall. Wider spacing should be given in low rainfall areas than the high rainfall areas for a kind of tree. So mas wider daw or mas magkalayo-layo yung distances kapag mababa yung rainfall kumpara kapag madalas yung rainfall. Then third factor, soil type and soil fertility. In heavy soils or in clayey type soils, clay texture, less spacing should be given because the top and root growth are limited. Kapag matigas yung lupa or usually kapag clayey, since compact yung mga soil particles, so hindi ganon ka-free yung mga roots natin na makapag-penetrate. So ayos lang na yung spacing ay hindi gaano magkakalayo. Then the fourth factor, we have the type of rootstock used for our trees. Trees of the same variety grafted on different rootstocks will grow to different sizes and as such require different planting distance. So kahit parehas na santol or parehas na pomelo yung iyong tinanim, kung magkaiba yung ginamit mong rootstock, so magkaiba sila ng growth. So, dapat natin yung i-consider in deciding the planting distance. Another one is our pruning and training practices. So, trees trained on head system require closer spacing. Kapag pinapractice mo yung pruning or training sa iyong mga halaman, then the required planting spacing is lesser. The last factor, we have the irrigation system that we use. So, gaya rin sa rainfall kanina, kung limited yung supply mo ng patubig, then mas maganda na mas distance yung spacing ng yung mga tanim. Okay, now let's proceed to the different planting systems. First is the square planting system. In a square planting system, all trees are equidistant. So meaning, mapa left, mapa right, mapa north, south, in every direction, north, south, east, west, the distance between trees is equal. So pare-parehas ng distances gaya ng isang square. Then the formula to get the plant population under square planting system is total area in square meters divided by the distance between trees multiplied by the distance between rows. Okay, so distance between trees, laser point. Distance from this tree to this tree, that's the distance between trees. Then distance between rows, distance from here to here is the distance between rows. But since sabi natin na all trees are equidistant and square nga, square planting system, therefore, the distance between trees and the distance between rows is actually the same. So parehas lang itong distances from here to here and from here to here and from here to here, from here to here. So same distances between trees and between rows. Now let's try this problem. In 1 hectare, how many mangoes can you plant with a 10 meters planting distance? So again, yung formula natin is total area over the distance between trees multiplied by the distance between rows. So yung given natin na total area is 1 hectare. And 1 hectare is equivalent to how many square meters? Equivalent ng 1 hectare is 10,000 square meters. So total area is 1 hectare or 10,000 square meters. Then our planting distance, sabi sa question, is 10 meters. So under square planting system, the distance between rows and the distance between trees is the same. So 10 meters times 10 meters equals 100 meters. Now here's the solution. Our total area is 1 hectare. That's equivalent to 10,000 square meters. Then our planting distance is 10 meters. So multiplied by 10 meters since square planting system. 10 times 10 equals 100 square meters. 10,000 square meters divided by 100 square meters. Cancel like terms. Alisin yung magkaparehas sa numerator and denominator. Naalis si square meters. Naalis yung dalawang zero. Naalis yung dalawang zero. Ang natira is 100 over 1. So 100 divided by 1 is 100. So the number of trees or the number of mango trees that you can plant in 1 hectare using a planting distance of 10 meters is 100. Okay, next. Now let's try another problem. Wala. Problem number 2. With a planting distance of 10 meters, how many coconuts can fit in a 3.5 hectare land? Using square planting system pa rin. So, parehas rin siya sa number 1. Yung total area natin is 3.5 hectares. So, kapag i-convert natin siya in square meters, it is 35,000 square meters. Then the planting distance is 10 meters. So distance between rows is 10 meters. Then the distance between plants or planting distance is also 10 meters. So 10 meters multiplied by 10 meters is 100 square meters. Then divide natin. Remove like terms. Square meters, remove. Square meters, remove. Dalawang zero sa denominator, remove. Dalawang zero sa numerator, remove. Ang natira, 350 over 1. 350 divided by 1 is 350. So in a 3.5 hectare land with a planting distance of 10 meters, you can fit 350 coconuts. Madali lang, no? Madali. Okay. Next naman, proceed na tayo sa rectangular planting system. So in rectangular planting system, the distance between trees is not the same sa distance between rows. Since rectangle nga yung ating planting system, so it's in the shape of a rectangle. So two sides have equal lengths, then two sides also have equal lengths. Then, so this side has equal length sa side na to. Then this side has equal length to this side. So that's a rectangular planting system. Actually, it has the same formula from that of the square planting system. Number of trees equals total area in square meters divided by the distance between trees in meters multiplied by the distance between rows also in meters. Okay, now let's proceed to the problem number 3. Using a rectangular planting system, in 2 hectares with a planting distance of 10 meters by 15 meters, how many trees can you plant? So yung formula natin, number of trees equals total area divided by the distance between rows and distance between plants. So ang total area natin is 2 hectares. And 2 hectares is equivalent to 20,000 square meters. So ganito yan. Paano mag-convert ng hectares to square meters? So ang 1 hectare natin, 1 hectare is equivalent to 10,000, 1, 2, 10,000 square meters. So kapag naman how many square meters in 2 hectares? 2 hectares. So gagawin dito, cross multiply. 1 hectare, divide natin dito sa baba. Since wala dito, so lagyan natin ng 1. Then multiply here to here. 2 times 10,000 equals oh, wait lang, baliktad. Hindi tayo makakapag-cancel kapag ganyan. Baliktad. So dapat yung, wait lang, ayaw ma-erase. Pen. So dapat yung magkaparehas ang unit ay nasa magkabilang place. Kapag yung isa nasa numerator, then yung ating 2 hectares dapat ay nasa denominator. So, dito si 2 hectares. So, dito, question mark. Ayun. Tama ba? Baliktad ulit. Inis. Baliktad talaga. Wait lang. Erase natin. Erase all na lang. Pen. 10,000 10,000 square meters is equivalent to 1 hectare. Then, tama naman. 2 hectares. Dito, question mark dito. So to get the question mark, we need to cross multiply here to here, then here to here, equals 10K times 2 is 20,000. Divide natin sa, yun, 1 hectare times question mark is 1 hectare. Parang mas gulo na kayo dito ah. Question mark. Hectare. Laser. $20K square meters. Hectare. So, cancel natin sa hectare. Cancel natin sa hectare. So, ang natira is, mas nagulan kayo. Basta multiply nyo lang. Okay. So, 2 hectares is equivalent to 20,000 square meters. Then, distance between rows and distance between trees, 10 by 15. So, 10 meters times 15 meters equals 150 square meters. Then, bring down to 20,000 square meters. Cancel like terms. Na-cancel si square meters sa taas, na-cancel sa baba. Inalis yung isang zero sa baba. Inalis yung isang zero sa taas. Ang natira, 2,015. 2,000 divided by 15 is 133.33333333. But since we're talking about trees, kahoy, wala namang 0.33 na kahoy. So instead of rounding up, we just remove or disregard the decimal point. So all in all, the answer is 133. Alisin natin yung decimal since walang decimal na puno. Okay, gets? Okay, next naman. Another problem, problem number 4. In 1 hectare, how many dwarf coconuts will you need if you plan to space them at 10 meters by 20 meters? So same rin sa number 3. Total area natin is 1 hectare, which is equivalent to 10,000 square meters. Then distance between rows multiplied by the distance between plants, 10 meters times 20 meters equals 200 square meters. Cancel like terms, square meters sa baba, sa taas, cancel. Dalawang zero sa baba, dalawang zero sa taas, cancel. Ang natira, 100 over 2. 100 divided by 2 is 50. So the number of dwarf coconuts that you will need to plant 1 hectare with a planting distance of 10 by 20 meters is 50. Okay. Next naman, proceed na tayo sa quincunx or diagonal planting system. So in quincunx or diagonal planting system, so all trees are also equidistant gaya sa square. However, the difference is that there's an additional tree at the center of every square. Itong si pumagitna, number 5. So same distance from here to here. Then there's an additional tree in the center. There's 2 formulas for quincunx or diagonal. We have a formula for initial tree and a formula for additional trees. Itong initial trees na tinatawag natin, we are solving for the number of trees na nasa square. So itong apat, 1, 2, 3, 4. So to solve the number of trees sa square na to, we will use this formula. Parang sa formula rin ng square and rectangle. Then for the number of additional trees, itong mga napagitna sa square, this one. Itong mga bilang ng mga nasa gitnang trees, ang ginagamit natin formula is this one. Number of additional trees equals number of rows lengthwise minus 1. Itong minus 1 is a constant term, so hindi siya nawawala. Multiplied by number of rows widthwise minus 1. Okay, remember those formulas. Okay, now try natin. We have problem number 5. In a 2-hectare land, how many trees will you need if the planting distance is 10 meters? So, ang tinatanong kung ilan yung number ng trees na kakailanganin natin in a 2-hectare land using quincunx or diagonal. So, una, we'll first compute for the number of initial trees gamit itong formula na to. Total area is 2 hectares. It is equivalent to how many square meters? 20,000 square meters. Then our planting distance is 10 meters. So 10 times 10 is 100 square meters. Cancel like terms. M square cancelled. 0, 0, 0, 0, cancel. Ang natira, 200 over 1 equals 200. So yung bilang ng initial trees natin, yung bilang ng mga nasa square natin is 200. Now, let's solve for the number of additional trees or yung number ng mga nakapagitna or naka-intercrop na trees. Now, to solve for that, we must first get the length and width of our area. So, ang area natin is 2 hectares. So, let's assume that this is our area. Okay, so this is our 2-hectare land. Then we will dictate the dimension of our area, 2 hectares. So we'll first have the length and width of our area. So ano ba yung length and width ng ating 2 hectares? Anong measurement ang pwede natin gamitin para yung value ay magiging 2 hectares? So dito, length natin is 200 meters. Then our width is 100 meters. 100 meters. 200 meters times 100 meters equals 20,000 square meters or 2 hectares. So, para makuha natin yung number of rows lengthwise, i-divide natin yung length ng ating area from to the distance of planting. Ano yung length ng area natin? Our length is 200 meters. Divide natin sa planting distance, which is 10 meters. So 200 meters divided by 10 meters. The quantity, bring down natin si minus 1. Then times width ng ating area. Ano yung width natin? 100 meters. 100 meters. Then divide natin sa distance of planting, which is 10 meters. 100 meters divided by 10 meters. Close parenthesis. Bring down si minus 1. And 200 meters divided by 10 meters is 20. Bring down minus 1 times 100 divided by 10. 10. Bring down C minus 1. 20 minus 1, 19. Times 10 minus 1, 9. 19 minus 1 ay times 9 is 171. So yung mga trees na nakapagitna or na naka-intercrop, yung mga trees dito is 171. So ang tinatanong yung all in all or yung kabuuan ng nabilang ng trees. So we'll combine natin yung number of initial trees sa number of additional trees. Total number of trees equals number of initial trees plus number of additional trees. 200 plus 171 equals 371. So all in all, the number of trees that you will need to plant a 2-hectare land with a planting distance of 10 meters using quincunx or diagonal planting system is 371. Okay? Okay, now you try this number 6. In 4 hectares, you plan to plant coconuts 20 meters apart. You also plan to intercrop cacao using quincunx system. Question, how many coconuts will you plant? How many cacao will you plant? And the total number of trees. So ganito yan, i-visualize natin. Gaya ng square, pero may nakapagitna. So yung coconuts daw, tinanim dito si coconut, dito sa mga corners ng square coconut. Then, in-intercrop niya yung Cacao. Cacao. So, anong gagamitin natin formula to get the number of coconuts? It is the formula for the number of initial trees. So, number of initial trees equals total area divided by the distance between rows and multiplied by the distance between trees. Then, para naman sa number of cacaos, yung formula for additional trees yung gagamitin. Now, try. Okay, let's try letter A. Number of coconuts equals total area divided by the distance between rows and the distance between plants. So, ang area natin is 4 hectares. 4 times 10,000 square meters is 40,000 square meters. Then, planting distance is 20 meters. So, 20 meters times 20 meters equals 400 square meters. Now, cancel like terms. Square meters sa taas sa baba, cancelled. Then, dalawang zero sa baba, dalawang zero sa taas, cancel. Ang natira, 400 over 4. 400 divided by 4 is 100. So, the number of coconuts that you will plant is 100. Now, for the number of cacaos naman, how many cacao will you plant? So, yung formula, yung number of rows lengthwise minus 1 times number of rows widthwise minus 1. Ito na. So, to get for the number of rows lengthwise and number of rows widthwise, we must first get the dimensions of our area. So, ang area natin is 4 hectares. Let's assume that this is a 4-hectare land. Four hectares. Now, ang length and width ng 4 hectares is pwedeng 200 meters by 200 meters. 2 times 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 na 0. So, 4, 0, 40,000. Tama. So, dito na. Number of rows lengthwise minus 1 times number of rows widthwise minus 1. Length ng ating area is 200 meters divided by the planting distance, which is 20 meters. Yun, 200 meters divided by 20 meters. The quantity, bring down natin si minus 1 times width of our area is 200 meters divided by planting distance, that is 20 meters. The quantity close, then bring down minus 1. 200 meters divided by 20 meters is 10. Bring down minus 1 times 200 meters divided by 20 meters, 10. Bring down minus 1. 10 minus 1, 9 times 10 minus 1, 9. So 9 times 9 is 81. So the number of cacaos all in all is 81. Then total number of trees, addition lang. Combine the number of coconuts or initial plant and the number of additional plant, which is the cacao. 100 plus 81 is 181. So I hope you understand the quincunx or diagonal and its computation. Okay, let's proceed to the hexagonal planting system. In hexagonal planting system, all trees are equidistant to one another from every direction, forming an equidistant triangle or a hexagon. So this is an illustration showing a hexagonal planting system. So equilateral triangle daw. Yan, triangle. Triangle rin yan. And equilateral. Equilateral meaning same length ng sides. Then hexagonal since 6 sides and 6 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hexagon. Then the formula for hexagonal planting system is number of trees equals the total area divided by the planting distance. Take note, naka-square meters na to. So, planting distance times planting distance times 0.866. This one is a constant value. So, lagi siyang andyan, hindi nawawala, hindi napapalitan. Now, let's try. Number 7. In 1 hectare land, how many trees will you need if the planting distance is 10 meters? So, gamit tong formula na to. Total area is 1 hectare. Planting distance is 10 meters. Here, 1 hectare or 10,000 square meters divided by 10 meters times 10 meters equals 100 square meters times 0.866. 10,000 baba lang. 10,000 square meters divided by 100 square meters times 0.866 equals 86.6 square meters. Then divide. Cancel like terms. Square meters, square meters. Cancel, cancel. 10,000 divided by 86.6 equals 115. So using hexagonal planting system with a planting distance of 10 meters in a 1 hectare land, you will need 115 trees. So ito pa. So compared sa square planting system, hexagonal planting system has a 15% increase in the number of trees. So mas mataas siya or mas marami ng 15% ang pwedeng magkasya kapag hexagonal ang ginamit mo compared sa square. 15%. Okay, gets? Next naman, last, contour system. So, contour system is generally followed on the hills where the plants are planted along the contour across the slope. So, ginagamit daw siya sa mga mountain slopes. The formula naman for contour system, number of trees equals number of hedges times total area in square meters over S, the quantity A plus B. S is the spacing between plants, A is the spacing between hedges, and B is the spacing between rows. So from this plant to this plant, ito yung distance between plants. So S, then from this one, this plant to this plant, this one is B. Itong illustration natin nito is what we call the single hedge system. Single hedge since iisa lang, one hedge, one hedge, one hedge. Kapag double hedge naman, ganito yung illustration. Okay. Plant 1, hedge 1, hedge 2, hedge 1, hedge 2, hedge 1, hedge 2, hedge 1, hedge 2, hedge 1, hedge 2. Don't get confused, itong hedge na tinatawag natin is also tree. Kahoy rin to, puno rin. Tinatawag lang natin silang hedge since yung function nila is to control or prevent yung erosion. So yung distance between hedge is the distance from this one to this one. Then distance between plants from this one to this one, B. Then distance between vertical rows there to there. Uy, S pala yan. Ito yung B. Distance between rows is B. Then distance between plants is S. Itong drawing ko, this is what we call the double hedge system. Then itong nasa picture, this is a single hedge system. Okay, now let's try to solve. Number 8. Area is 1 hectare and single hedge system. Then distance between plants is 5 meters. Distance between rows is 8 meters. Now, using this formula, how many trees will you plant in that area of 1 hectare? Okay, now here's the solution. There's the given. Number of trees equals number of hedges times total area in square meters over S, the quantity A plus B. Number of hedges, since single hedge, so 1 times total area, 1 hectare, 10,000 square meters. Over S natin, distance between plants is 5 meters. A natin, distance between hedges. Since single hedge system, so walang distances between hedges, so 0. Plus, B natin is distance between rows, 8 meters. 1 times 10,000 square meters, 10,000 square meters. Over 5 meters times 8 meters. Since 0 plus 8 meters is 8 meters. So 5 meters times 8 meters equals 40 square meters. Cancel or remove like terms. Square meters, square meters. 0 dyan, 0 dyan. 1,000 divided by 4 equals 250. Now, how about double hedge system? Uy, kapag double hedge system naman, so number of hedge is 2. Then total area natin is 1 hectare or 10,000 square meters. 2 times, then S natin, distance between plants, 5 meters. A, distance between hedges, 2 meters. Then distance between rows, 8 meters. Take note that the distance between hedges is always lesser than the distance between plants. So, mas magkakadikit yung mga hedges natin kaysa sa mga plants. Then 2 times 10,000, 20,000 square meters. Then 5 meters, 2 meters plus 8 meters is 10 meters. 5 meters times 10 meters is 50,000 square meters. Bring down si 20,000, then cancel like terms. M square. 0 dyan. 0 dyan. Ang natira, 2,000 over 5. So 2,000 divided by 5 is 400. Okay, gets? I hope that you understood those the sequence or the procedure in solving all of those plant density using the different planting systems. Okay, that's the end. That's the end for this discussion. Goodbye.